Hi, welcome to this mini learning, and I am going to start by just running this question inside Claude. While it's doing that, I'll explain the outcome, the intended outcome and usefulness. So as we're doubling down on YouTube and starting to learn how we work in this human in the loop way and moving away from personal productivity to starting to use signals to create content. What is important if you're working with AI is to provide the right context and to give it the right information. So what I've done here is give it an action to get the YouTube stats live from the last 7 days, to get intelligence from scraped data. I'm not going to go into details here. It's the outcome that's important. And we can see here that we're getting an immediate shot of the performance. We're getting a really good insight into the short that are working. The fact that they outperform longer form content, well, that is correct. They outperform it in terms of views, but the other metric in terms of pushing people along, they're also doing a reasonable job, but not as well as the long form content. And then some of the patterns that are working. As a result of having this data, it gives me some clear actions of where I might be looking to improve in terms of the content, positioning of the content, the labeling of the content. However, the most important reason for me sharing this, that if you are a media or publishing business, what you now have the ability to do is to make this type of interrogation available to anybody who's working on content. So they can ask questions of live data. And you may ask, well, that sounds complicated. And I'm just going to show you very quickly how uncomplicated it actually is. And here's how it works. So by asking that question, Claude runs an action through the make.com MCP connector. What that action does is just initiate this scenario. What this scenario does, again, super simple. It just runs a call to the YouTube API, and all of this is just point and click, low code, no code. Anybody can set it up. You have to iterate through it so that you get all the information, and then it returns everything, the full array of the YouTube statistics. So you're working with live data. The beauty of this concept of talking to data, we can start making intelligent suggestions and also intelligent changes. So here is a change. At the time of this recording, I'm going to make this change. So I'm going to take the AI suggestion, because it's now suggesting not without context, but with context. I'm going to make this change because that is a part of the experimentation I'm trying to do. If you want to know in detail how to set this up, and you feel a more detailed how-to video is going to be useful to you, please comment or subscribe to that effect. and I'm taking in all the comments and with the intent of starting to make more detailed how-to videos around some of these mini learnings that I'm getting.